Today we will see the concurrent development model. Okay, yesterday we have seen the spiral model. Today we will see the concurrent development model. Okay, see the concurrent development model consists of the different phases, and this is the, you can see over here, the activity are here. This analysis activity is there. Now, if you see this, the first step is under development. Now, what this stage under development suggests, it represents a state of software engineered activity. It is under development, it is not fully developed. If you have that software, again it is waiting for the changes. Okay, it needs, whatever the software is there, that software needs to be changed. If you have the software, then it is under revision, it needs a revision. Okay, if it is under review, then what is the baseline, whether is it done or not? If it is under development, take a review of that. Okay, if you are taking the review, then take the baseline review of that, and then it is completed. If it is completed, then it may needs a change. It may be waiting for the changes. Okay, so this is what the activity, and this activity is nothing but the analysis activity. Okay, and this is the concurrent development model activity. Okay, now it is represented. Just a minute, I want to add the people. Now the concurrent development model represented systematically. It is a series of major technical activities, tasks, and their associated states are there. Okay, so it is often more appropriate for system engineering projects where different engineering teams are involved. Okay, the activity modeling may be in one of the state for a given time. Now, why it is called as concurrent? Because all the activities are going concurrently for the development process of the model. Okay, all activities exist concurrently but resides in different states. But activities are going concurrently, but they are in a different state. They are in a different state. All activities are going, but different, they resides in different state. Okay, for example, now analysis activity existed in the non-state while initial customer communication was completed. Now makes a transition into a under development state. Analysis activity will be transformed into the under development state. First activity will be under development state. Analysis activity moves from the under development state into the awaiting changes state. Okay, so only if customer indicate changes in the requirement. Okay, now there will be a series of activity. There will be a series of activity there. Okay, now the series of event will trigger transition from state to state. Now activity will be there, one activity there that will be transited from one activity to another state. Okay, so from that state to another state. So there will be the transition from one state to another while developing the model. For example, during initial stage there was inconsistency in design which was uncovered. This will trigger the analysis action from the done state into awaiting changes state. Okay, just a minute. So activities will be there, but this activity will be concurrent. This activity will be concurrent. Now there can be a visibility of the current state of the project. In the concurrent development model, you can just visible the what is going on in the current state, what is the concurrent state or current state of the project. Now it defines network of activity. It defines network of activities. Now each activity, actions and tasks on the network exist simultaneously with other activities, actions and tasks. Why it is called as concurrent? Because these activities or actions or tasks, they are on the network. That means they exist simultaneously with the other activities. That means all the activities are going parallelly, but they reside in the different states. Okay. Now events generated at one point in the process network trigger transition among the states. Okay. So concurrent development model, there are different state, that state are transited from one state to another state. Okay. So you can see, or you can watch the current state with the naked eye of the project. Okay. Next model is fourth generation technique, that is called the 4G technique also. That is called the 4GT or 4G technique, fourth generation technique. Now in fourth generation technique, you can see over here, this is the block diagram. First step is the requirement gathering. Now in requirement gathering, that earlier we have seen the communication phase, that the communication of the developer with the customer, that customer will give the requirement to the developer. Developer will gather the all the requirements from the customer. For example, our customer is a bank. Okay, so from that bank, developer will collect the information, or software people will collect the information. Okay, so that is the phase, that is called as the requirement gathering. Then you have to decide the design strategy. You have to plan once you have got the requirement, okay, from the customer, you have to plan a strategy how to design the model. Once that is finalized, once it is finalized, you have to use the implementation technique, that is implementation using the 4GL. What is this 4GL? 4GL is nothing but the 4 generation language. 4GL is nothing but the 4 generation language. Once you have implemented this using the 4 generation language, you have a testing phase. Once it is tested, see, once it is tested, it is deployed to the customer end. So these are the 4th generation technique. Why it is called as 4th generation? Because there is a use of 4th generation language. Okay, and each activity here or each stage is interconnected to each other. That first is connected to second is connected to third. Okay, so every activity will get the information from any other activity. Every activity will get the information from the any other activity. Okay, so each activity or each stage, these are connected to each other. Okay. Now, like all other models, 4th generation technique begins with the requirement gathering phase. जो मैंने पहले बताया, whatever I have told you. Okay, so the customer will describe the requirement, which are directly translated into an operational prototype. Okay, practically, however, the client may be unsure of the requirement, may be ambiguous in specs, or may be unable to specify information in a manner that the 4GT tool can use. Means what? For example, there can be a person who is not giving the complete information. Okay, or in a proper format. There can be a thing like that. Okay, for small application, it can be possible to move directly from the requirement gathering phase to implementation phase also using a non-procedural 4th general language. Okay, generation language. Okay, so agar application is very small, then you can directly move to the implementation phase also in 4G technique model. Okay, 4GT model. However, for a larger project, a design strategy is necessary. Otherwise, the same difficulties are likely to arise as with the conventional approaches. Okay, if a project is large, you should have a design strategy. Now, to transform a 4GT implementation into a product, the developer must conduct thorough testing, develop meaningful documentation. If you want this 4GT model to be implemented into the product, the developer must conduct the thorough testing of that model and develop meaningful documentation also. Okay. In addition, the 4GT developed software must be built in a manner that enables maintenance to be performed quickly. Now, what are the merits of this technique? What are the merits of this model? There is a dramatic reduction in software development time for small and intermediate application. It improved the productivity for software developer. Means software development time is reduced and productivity will be increased. These are the merits of this model, 4GT model. What are the demerits? It is not much easier to use as compared to programming languages because you are using the 4G and there. Okay, so that's why it is not easier to use that 4G language as compared to the programming languages. The maintainability of a large software system built using 4GT open is open to question. Means maintenance question will be there. Maintenance of this 4G technique will be there. Now, 4GT software tool is used to generate the software code, source code for a software system from a high level specification representation. Okay. The commonly used 4GT in development models are mentioned below. The first is for the report generation. Second is database query language. Third is data manipulation. Okay. Fourth is screen definition and interaction. Then the code generation will be there. Web engineering tools will be there. High level graphics will be there. So these are the models where the 4GT will be used. Next is component based development. Now, component based, it is also called as CBD. It is also called as CBD, component based development model. So it incorporates many of the characteristics of the spiral model. Yesterday we have seen the spiral model. Meaning the whatever the characteristics are there of the spiral model, that will be incorporated into the component based model. It is evolutionary by nature, an iterative approach to create the software. Now, what is meant by evolutionary or iterative? That means what? If you have one version, you can have another version also. You can have another version also. That means if you have version 1, then it can be a version. After some days, you can have a version 2 also. You can have a version 3 also, like this. Okay, that's why it is evolutionary in nature. CBD model creates application from pre-packaged software component, or that is also called as pre-packaged software components are called as classes. You know the classes. So this is actual CBD model. You can see over here. These are the components and these are the phases over there. This is the spiral model. You can see. Okay. Now the first was the first stage is the customer communication. This will be the first stage. Then once the communication is there between the customer and the developer, there will be a next stage that is called the planning. You can see over here. Once it is planned, the next stage is the risk analysis. If you are developing a software for the large system, always there is a risk, or that risk should be analyzed. Once the planning is finished, there is a risk analysis phase that is necessary. Once it is analyzed, there is a construction phase. The construction phase consists of coding and testing. Okay, and then there can be a release of the software. A release of the software means what? Okay, version will to 1.0, version 2.0. That means what? It will be installed at the customer end. Once it is constructed and tested, lastly they will be installed or they will be deployed at the customer end. Once it is installed at the customer end, there will be a valuation from the customer of the software. Means there, for example, आपने एक टेस्ट बॉक्स बनाया है और उसमें रिक्वायरमेंट में चाहिए कि कस्टमर नेम, तो आपने वहाँ कस्टमर का अकाउंट नंबर डाल दिया. दैट मीन्स व्हाट कि आप कस्टमर नेम विल बी इन द टेक्स्ट मेथड and whether it is inputting the data in a digits format. So customer will evaluate whether their requirement is fulfilled or not. Okay, so this is what the customer evaluation phase will be there. So you can see the CBD model here. This will be the initial stage here. First, identify the candidate components. So what are the candidate components over there of the model that will be identified? Look up components in library. If that components are not available, you can look up in the, into the library. Now extract component if available. If the components are available in the library, these components are extracted. Okay. Once it is extracted, you have to build a component if unavailable. Okay. If the components are not available, if components are not available, you have to build the components. Okay. Then you have to put a new components in the library. Once you have constructed the new component, that will be inserted or put into the component library. And then you have to construct, last stage will be there, construct the nth iteration of the system. This system will be iterative in the CBD model. In the CBD model, the system will be iterative. So this is what the actually it is inspired. CBD model is inspired from the spiral model. CBD model is inspired from the spiral model. Now the modeling and construction activities begin with the identification of candidate component. Okay, then the classes are created in the past software engineering projects that are stored in the class library or repository. Once candidate classes are identified, the class library is searched to determine if these classes already exist. Though you have created the classes, and if there is a existence of that classes, so though you don't have to create that classes. You have to check it first whether that classes exist or not. Okay. If class is already available in the extract, reuse. If you have already the class is available, you don't have to create it. You have to just reuse it. You have to reuse it. Okay. If class is not available in the library, then it is engineered or developed using object-oriented method. Then the new classes built to meet the unique needs of the application. Okay. So now the process flow return to the spiral activity actually. Okay. So these are the activities. The CBD model leads to software reusability because CBD model consists of reusable components. CBD model consists of reusable components that can lead to reusable software there. Okay. Now, based on the studies, CBD model leads to 70% reduction in development cycle time. 84% reduction in project cost, and the productivity is very high. That means what? The time for the development is reduced by 70%. The cost is also reduced to 84% by using the CBD model. Obviously, the productivity will be very high. The productivity will be very high. Okay, so the CBD model is very important. Okay,